Well, now we're going to turn to our next topic, which is the in memoriam for Nichelle Nichols. Our program comes from the Nimoy Event Horizon Theater, the Leonard Nimoy Event Horizon at Griffith Observatory usually. In fact, I believe it's open tonight. We're open to the public, and there are folks probably in there watching, all space considered. But one of his co-stars of Star Trek recently passed away. She was an actress, singer, dancer, and also a NASA advocate. So we're going to remember Nichelle with just a few images and a little video that we made. She actually started, like we said, as a singer and a dancer. And in fact, when she was 15 years old, she sang with the Duke Ellington Orchestra. So I'd love to hear a recording of that myself. I did a little digging and I wasn't able to find anything. But that's just super cool to think about, having her singing with that. Now, we did get to hear her sing on Star Trek. She, of course, played Lieutenant Uhura. She was the communications officer. She was the lead in the communications realm. Later, she was promoted in Star Trek II to commander, so that was fantastic. And of course, she was also on the animated series. A lot of folks don't know there was a Star Trek animated series, but she provided the voice of Uhura for that. She was in, of course, many of the episodes and had important roles, but one of the roles that people often remember, and folks get it a little bit wrong, that they think it was the first interracial kiss on television. Well, it wasn't quite the first, but it was one of the first handful, and certainly one of the first for a Black woman with a white man. There were several Asian, Caucasian kisses, things like that, but nonetheless, this is one of the most important ones. Star Trek was a fairly popular television show. It was on a major network, and it was at a time that television was being watched by a lot of folks. So to have a moment like that to really make people question their opinions, question what they thought about this moment, it was, Star Trek kind of stepping into the realm of social commentary, which they often did. When you go back and watch those old episodes, a lot of the plots were really referring to things that were in the news in the day, whether it was the Vietnam War or other aspects like that. They were quite political. They really were. So today folks look back at it and think it's kind of cheesy, but at the time it was quite groundbreaking. Nichelle went on to become a NASA advocate, in addition to having a career doing a lot of other things. But here at All Space Considered, we'll talk about her advocacy just here for a moment. You can see her there on the left giving a lecture. In the upper right is a picture in the control room there. And then in the lower right, she's actually on board the Sophia Airborne Observatory. It's a big 747 that has a hole cut in the side that they took infrared images, actually, to get up above the atmosphere a little bit. They took some of those. Sophia is going to be decommissioned in the near future unless they find more funding or another source, somewhat unfortunately, but with the Webb telescope, it's an expensive project to be running at the same time. But she was a big advocate for it. And we put together a little video here to show off some of her, to hear from her and show off some of what she did. And it starts out with kind of a moment for her that a lot of folks don't know about, where she had a connection to Dr. Martin Luther King, and she eventually sang at his funeral even. So, but let's hear it from her.
I said, well, I'm leaving Star Trek. He said, you cannot. You cannot. For the first time on television, we will be seen as we should be seen every day, as intelligent, quality, beautiful people who can sing, dance, but who can go into space.
Strong interference on subspace, Captain. The planet must be a natural radio source.
Hi, I'm Nichelle Nichols, but I still feel a little bit like Lieutenant Uhura on the Starship Enterprise. Astronaut Alan Bean has agreed to show me some of the training and evaluation that new astronaut candidates will be undergoing.
During the Apollo program.
Captain, at last.
Since you're sitting in the commander's seat, Nichelle, let me show you how you might fly it if we were in space.
Oh, boy, huh? Now, the shuttle will be taking scientists and engineers, men and women of all races, into space, just like the astronaut crew on the Starship Enterprise. This is your NASA, a space agency embarked on a mission to improve the quality of life on planet Earth right now.
Hi.
We're going to open the door. Door moving.
Hi, I'm Nichelle Nichols. I played Lieutenant Uhura, Chief Communications Officer aboard the Starship Enterprise on Star Trek, the original series. Today, I'm aboard Sophia, a NASA aircraft flying into our stratosphere with an infrared telescope to observe light coming from interstellar objects. Sophia helps astronomers learn more about the birth of stars, formation of planetary systems, black holes, and more. Sophia reminds me of the Starship Enterprise. It goes where no man or woman has ever gone before.
Lieutenant Uhura to Security Officer Davison.
Davison here.
I want an all-woman security team on every transporter immediately. No one is to transport down to the planet unless it is on my order.
Aye, aye, Lieutenant.
What are you doing? Taking command of this ship.
So I really appreciate the video we made there. And folks, if you need to rewatch it to fix the volume levels, it was a little quiet for me, but nonetheless, she was a remarkable woman. And Ken, you know, who knew we'd see you so soon again, especially with Nichelle here. Can you tell us a little bit about where you met her?
Sure. This was a very fortunate occurrence, but Nichelle was pretty active in the convention circuit, appeared at a lot of cons, and this was in spring of 2019, so it was one of her last con appearances. I think most of us were aware of this, and it was quite a crowd trying to get in to see her. But this was in Denver at the Starfest con that had gone on for something like 40 years, one of the early fan-run conventions. And she was there, and I got a chance to go to her autograph table, and she was, at this point, she was starting to have some issues health-wise, but once she sat down in that chair with a line of people out there, she just like snapped right up and fell into the routine that, she had done so many times before. And she was the warmest person I think of any of the stars that I've met over the years. Took my hand, just gave me this huge smile, and as you can see her there, looked happy and in her element there to be with her fans. And it's one of the more memorable encounters that I've had with any cast member or worker in Trek over the years. So I was very lucky to catch her when I did.
Well, it's a great photograph of her giving the live long and prosper and gripping your hand. And like you said, the smile on her face is genuine. She was a genuine person, and really, I heard over and over again from folks after she passed of commentary of how, she was comfortable with her stardom and really loved her fans and loved being able to promote NASA and space. So, just let's all take a moment and remember her when we can, raise a drink to her and, toast everything she did. And also think about everybody she inspired to become part of NASA, to go up into space and to really explore this universe. Griffith Observatory, our mission is to help people, inspire people to ponder and observe the heavens. And Nichelle was really one of us. She helped folks get inspired to want to learn more about the universe. So, thank you, Nichelle, for all you did. And here she was, of course, on the set Star Trek on the original Enterprise. This was a touring exhibit, I believe, that she was at. So they got a great photo of her there, even with her little earpiece. So